Yeah. But maybe you could speak a little bit more about the break, his break with the classical and moving to the romantic, as well as his own personality in refusing to be part of that old system of kowtowing and subservient to it.
The music life was organized completely differently than now, and it was the big houses who owned the musicians. They had court musicians, court orchestras, court singers, court composers, and I would say that the manager of all this was called the Kapellmeister. It was that a senior position, the senior position, and he was supervising all the musicians. It was a very prestigious position, and a lot of great musicians were Kapellmeister, like Bach. And we have Beethoven. Beethoven is coming from a family of court musicians. His father was a court singer. His grandfather was a Kapellmeister at the Electoral Court of Cologne. And he has been a court musician in I think he was 16, yeah. He never had another position like that. Although he wanted to, because he wanted to emulate his grandfather. But he had another system to be able to live, to be able to earn money. And he had patrons, like the Lobkowitz family, or the Emperor Rudolf, or Joseph, and they actually paid him, but it was not. He has no connection, direct connection, or no obligation to the family. He had no obligation to teach. It was a kind of sponsoring, yeah. It was a
like
kind
a
of
grant, kind of.
yeah, like a grant. He was able to live, and it's the first composer who actually didn't take part in this court business, and was really free. Was really free to write anything he wanted, and he had to, of course, sell it to editors or sell it to music publishers, but he was really free, and you can see that in his music, because it's really free music, free to evolve to his own language. He created something that looks like him.
So he's clearly free and able to express his own style and his own opinion, and that is what allowed him to actually be ahead of his time.
Yeah.
In some.
That's what allowed him to be really creative and to be really innovative in his language. And you can compare that to what's actually happening in the music business, with the independent musicians versus the whole music industry
Today.
Yeah, today you kind of have the official music industries with the big majors, the big concert halls, and you have an other life with people trying to have a much more free activity than what's in the official industry. And it's really interesting to see that creativity is really blossoming, actually.
So it would be interesting to imagine Beethoven being able to crowdsource an album.
Actually, of course,
record it himself, and
that would be. I think that would be his style right now. It would be a rock star, I think.